Como é bom cantar, como é bom saber, eu sou aqui desse lugar. Aqui é minha terra, eu canto com emoção. Um pedaço do Brasil em formato de coração. Um pedaço do Brasil em formato de coração.
The Cerrado is a mosaic of woodlands surrounded by open grasslands with scattered trees, known locally as Brazilian savanna. This is a hot dry land with wind that brings annual fires sweeping through it. The trees protect themselves with thick crocodile-like bark. The heavily plated armadillos can go underground, and the ever-present termites are insulated in their red conical mounds. Red is the colour of the Cerrado, fire red, termite red. But nothing is more red than that of a macaw, the red and green macaw, a bird that lights up the dark green canopy of leaves at sunrise, a bird whose feathers reflect both the blue sky of the coming day and the scarlet red of sunset. Historically, this landscape has been prime cattle country, with individual Brazilian fazendas occupying thousands of square kilometres. More recently, though, the agriculture has developed on an industrial scale for the growing of soy, maize and sugarcane. Nature has always given way to man. The unique trees and wildlife have now almost gone. Into this scene came an ordinary man, a man whose roots were in the Cerrado, Mr. Modesto. All his working life he had been a cattleman, calling the cattle to him in the morning with his horn, tending to their needs and taming his land in their favour. Over time he witnessed the loss of the wild, and he missed the flashes of red and blue, the macaws. The felling of the forests had removed their nesting trees, the remaining birds taken by hunters and trappers. So this man bought a large area of forest, one of the last remaining. No macaws lived there, they had disappeared years before. But Mr. Modesto was in for a surprise, for this was no ordinary forest. Unknown to him and hidden deep within it was a giant hole. This awesome place, rumour had it, was where captured bandits in the distant past were thrown to their death. Red and green macaws need bocavia palms. They feed on the fruits and hollow out a hole near the top to make a nest. Finding that there were few palms left, Mr. Modesto started to grow them and replant his forest. In a nearby village he found a man with two captive macaws, Laura and Lauro. They were in a dirty bamboo cage, their wing feathers cut, preventing them from flying away. The owner wouldn't sell them, but Mr. Modesto offered to give the man a pig for the birds, and with a twist of their moustaches, the Brazilian equivalent of a handshake, the sale was agreed. Mr. Modesto released the birds into his forest. The newly planted bocavia palms grew, as did the wing feathers of Laura and Lauro. One day they flew away. Mr. Modesto searched and searched. Eventually he heard their shrill call and tracked them to an area of trees around the giant hole. Laura and Lauro were flying round and round. The ledges and crevices made safe and secure places for them to sit, and one year the pair made a nest deep inside a recess and had a chick. Mr. Modesto was happy. The loud and raucous calls of Laura and Lauro had brought the forest back to life again and attracted new macaws from ever more distant forests. His secluded forest, with its giant hole and birds, remained hidden and safe. There is a common understanding that people do not change, especially as you get older. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks. And this is certainly true in rural Brazil. But Mr. Modesto did change. He changed from a farmer to a conservationist. From felling trees, he grew them. What's more, he changed again. Rather than keeping his beloved macaws to himself, he knew people needed to see the macaws. His macaws would open their eyes to nature and remind them of their lost forests, the wildlands that used to be Brazil. People now come and marvel at the macaws. School children, bird watchers, photographers, as well as families from all over South America. They gaze over the canopy, a vision before their eyes. The colours of the wild, green of the forest, red of the disappearing cerrado, and turquoise blue of a Brazilian sky. As for Mr. Modesto, he is their hero, now using his horn to call in visitors. He is the one who brings colour to their lives, and he reminds them that they too can change, as he has, and make Brazil a better place for wildlife.
Como é bom dizer, como é bom cantar, como é bom saber, eu sou aqui desse lugar. Aqui é minha terra, eu canto com emoção, pedaço do Brasil em formato de coração, pedaço